When I was a teen, up until my early adulthood, I used to get into mosh pits. They made me feel alive. And while they weren't exactly safe, the point was never to actually hurt anyone. Moshing was controlled chaos. Hardcore dancing was never about violence. It was about keeping people away from you. Because the music was supposed to look dangerous and aggressive, but never actually be dangerous. Most people didn't go to these shows to hurt someone or worse, murder somebody. Besides crazy people. But there's a line that music can cross where it stops being an artistic spectacle that feels unsafe to where it becomes genuinely dangerous. Where the performative violence done for the sake of the music as an art form becomes assault. But to understand where that line is, before any actual violence reaches an audience, we have to understand what performative violence looks like when it's aimed inward. During my deep dive into the violent nature of music, I stumbled upon Ryosuke Kiyasu, who's an extreme solo snare performer. He started off by starting a power violence group called the Violent Blockade. Power violence is like a super fast hardcore punk. No actual violence there unless you got weak eardrums. Kiyasu then got into the noise genre when he started doing his solo work. If you don't understand what noise music is, now I think you understand what noise music is. He has shows where he dry humps his snare performatively. But why, you might ask? It's fun. It's a good time. Well, on his website, it says that he continues to tour globally, delivering a singular high-impact blend of extreme dynamics, physicality, and avant-garde vision that has made the snare drum a headline instrument. So I think that's why he does it, for his vision. But more than anything, his music is more of a danger to himself than anyone else. No one's really getting hurt in these, which is why it falls into performative violence. He sometimes accidentally bruises or cuts himself while performing, though this never seems to be his intention. But other musicians don't follow the same path that he does, no siree. And if you thought noise music was crazy, well, you've never heard. Danger music initially came from the Fluxus art movement, which was founded by some guy named George Macias. I'll put his name up here. The movement aimed to blur the line between art and life through playful, anti-establishment events, performances, and happenings. What's a happening? I don't know, you tell me. Like and subscribe. The Fluxus movement gave us art like String Guy, Dude Vomit Painting, and Guy Eating Can While Losing His Mind. We all know these. But the first to pioneer danger music was the musician Dick Higgins. He brought us masterpieces such as Danger Music No. 17. Along with other bangers like Glass Lass, which Higgins performed alongside other Fluxus artists such as Paul Dutton and Steve McCaffrey. Sick! Oh, hell yeah, danger music. But while most of these songs sound like a bunch of noise being thrown at the audience, some of the songs are a lot darker. Like Danger Music No. 9, which simply stated, volunteer to have your spine ripped out. Dick Higgins never did this though, wimp. With the Fluxus movement, Dick Higgins' discography, and the industrial music revolution of the 1980s, one of the most influential danger music bands was born. And by the most influential, I mean one of the most dangerous danger music bands to ever exist. The band was composed of the frontman Yamantaka Ai, Taketani Ikuo, and Mitsuru Tabata. But before we jump into them, a quick explanation of danger music. Some of the pieces of music are never meant to be performed, hence Dick Higgins' song about getting his spine ripped out. I'd still do it, pussy. But Hanatarash took things to the next level. During one of their earlier performances, their frontman Ai cut a dead cat in half with a machete. This is real. I also strapped a saw onto his back, not like a saw, but like a saw, and almost cut his own leg off when the saw fell off of his back and onto his leg. And since he had bypassed the safety on the saw just kept going right through his flesh. Also real, what's going on? The band was also known to make the audience sign safety waivers because of incidents like this, and incidents like the bulldozer gig, where I drove an excavator through the front of one of the venues they got booked at. This banned Hanatarash from performing at basically any club ever again. Some speculate that this is the reason that the band took an indefinite hiatus. In his older years, I made experimental music with many different bands, most notably Boredoms, and would even go on to make an album with Sonic Youth called TV Shit. He also created the album art for Beck's Midnight Vultures. Danger music spoke for itself in terms of artistic expression. People knew what they were getting into, hence the bodily injury waivers, making the violence voluntary and a part of the show itself. Not saying I think you should drive an excavator through a building. But there was never transgressive violence, which is the territory we're about to jump into with GG Allin. Transgressive violence is physical, verbal, or another word I can't say on YouTube, violence that crosses boundaries. To explain GG Allin, let's listen to what his older brother, Merle Allin Jr. has to say about it.
My brother was the most notorious, the most outrageous, the most dangerous rock and roll performer of all time, bar none.
He's not an all-around good person. He's quite the opposite of a good person. He would write songs about murder, torture, and so many other racist, homophobic things. But unlike other bands who wrote vile lyrics, GG Allin stuck to his guns and portrayed his song lyrics in the way he lived his life and performed at his shows. But before we get into that, how did he get here? Who is this man? According to GG Allin's essay, First 10 Years, he lived with a schizophrenic, religious fanatic father, Merle Allin Sr., named GG Allin, Jesus Christ Allin. That's his real name. It's not GG Allin. Merle Allin Sr. named him this after he said that he had a vision from God that told him that his son was going to be the next Messiah. Checks out. They lived in a log cabin secluded from the world with no water or electricity. Merle Allin Sr. would constantly threaten to murder GG Allin, his brother, and his mother, Arietta Gunther. GG Allin states in his essay, "He always had planned to kill my brother and I, then commit suicide with my mother. This was brought to our attention on many a blistering occasion." In the documentary GG Allin and the Murder Junkies, GG Allin goes as far as to say that his dad said that he was gonna kill his family and dug graves beneath their home for every single one of them, including himself. After the incident, Arietta Gunther threatened to leave him and take the kids with her, so Merle Allin Sr. kidnapped GG Allin until Arietta finally convinced him that she was going to stay. After another handful of domestic assaults and threats of violence, Arietta Gunther finally left Merle Allin Sr. one day while he was at work, taking the kids with her. This was when GG Allin was 5. But by then, the scars had ran too deep, and GG Allin slowly fell into a life of drugs and crime along with his brother. They began to sell drugs and steal together, and GG Allin began to fall into his hyper-narcissistic personality, which was only fully magnified when he became the frontman of the band The Jabbers. Though he had previously performed with 2 bands prior to joining The Jabbers, it was his time with The Jabbers where he would develop his infamous stage persona.
And my mission is to put danger back into rock and roll, something that's been missing for a real long time.
He was known for beating people up while wearing clothes, and sometimes without wearing clothes. He was also known for
How many of you can, at 35 years old, sleep with 16, 12, 13-year-old girls?
Yeah, not a good guy. He's by far one of the worst musicians to have ever gained an audience, or ever existed for that fact. On top of all of the assault and essay that he would do, he would also defecate on stage, once starting a riot from people trying to escape after the first time he took a shit on stage. Seriously. On top of that, he would cover himself in his own feces and indulge in coprophagia. For those of you who doesn't know what that means, it means after 7 years of touring with GG Allin, the Jabbers finally had enough of his behavior after it became more and more extreme.
Because they couldn't control me no matter what I said. I did what I wanted to do.
One of the members of the Jabbers hated him so much that he had this to say about him.
Hitting yourself in the head with a microphone, GG, it's just not that big of a deal. No big deal. Doesn't hurt that bad. All right, am I bleeding?
During his final years, GG Allin formed the band The Murder Junkies, which was already a band that was backing him at times, but he made it more official. During his initial time with the Murder Junkies, there was a set they performed where he did so much heroin that he passed out and was then jumped by 13 audience members who broke his arm and smashed glass bottles over his head, and he was then arrested. Why would you do that? Soon after this, he went to jail for a few years after assaulting a young woman. During his final interview, which I showed a snippet of earlier, he claimed that during the course of his life, he'd been arrested over 52 times.
Is law.
How many times have you been in jail?
I've been in jail. I've been arrested over 52 times. I've spent 3 years in prison.
During that same interview, he talked about how he wanted to go out on stage and take everyone's kids with him during his final performance.
And the ultimate performance would be when I have reached my peak, and I'm not there yet. So don't you all clap when I say this. I'll commit suicide, but I'll take your kids with me.
Luckily, this would never come to fruition, as GG Allin would soon after go to New York, perform, have an all-night bender, then die of a heroin overdose. This is the last video that was ever taken of him. At the end of GG Allin's essay, he writes, "My demons, inner strengths, and physical battles have guided me through life. My demons and I are not compatible. We never have been and never will be. We invite you to danger and possibly death. We want your blood. Then we want you to vanish. I guess after all, I must be my Father's son. I am the second coming of Jesus Christ through aim and constant fire. Ryosuke Kiyasu and the Fluxus movement showed that music can be an avant-garde spectacle. Hanatarash, with I leading the band, displays that perceived violence as spectacle is something that an audience can be a part of with their own consent. GG Allin shows us that music being dangerous has nothing to do with the genre. It has to do with playing towards the emotion of genuine distaste for humans as a whole. Have a nice day!